But Chris Cuomo is a good brother. Okay? Chris Cuomo is a good brother, and Alec Baldwin has claimed that he did not pull the trigger of that gun. In an interview with George Stephanopoulos, he says, I didn't pull the trigger. White supremacists did. I don't mean to make light of the situation because I feel bad for Alec Baldwin. I don't think he killed her because he wanted to. I think he killed her because she had some secret information about him that he needed to get away with her from. I feel like there was a reason we don't know. Maybe she had some information about Hilaria that Alec Baldwin was sensitive about. Maybe Hilaria had mentioned a running with the bulls that she did when she was saying she lived in Barcelona for 20 years. And, you know, the Baldwin family did not want it to come out that she was a white girl from a rich suburb, a Jewish white girl from a rich suburb of Boston, even though we already know it. She's still trying to claim that she grew up in both places. And maybe there was a story that she told somewhere on some media show when she was running around being a fake cook or fake yoga instructor or whatever. Don't you love when these the arm candy of like very rich, powerful men, all of a sudden they become like these like influencer yoga instructors?
Yeah.
It's like, we get it. You're a fucking housewife who's paid for. Can anyone just be who you are? You don't work for yourself. And now you're showing up on Good Day America with Scarlett, whatever her fucking name is, and you're showing me how to stretch. You're not Indian. You're not a real yogi. You're a rich suburban white girl who doesn't know what to do with her time because Alec Baldwin pays the fucking bills. You're not from Spain. You're not Spanish. You know how to pronounce American words. And your puss is so good that there was a first AD on a film set that had a story about you not living in Barcelona when you said you did. And Alec Baldwin had to kill her for you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This was a hit job. And I'd be surprised if the CCP wasn't involved in some way. Why not? But Alec Baldwin claimed in his interview with George Stephanopoulos with his straight face that he did not point the gun at her and he didn't pull a trigger. He didn't pull a trigger. And so George Stephanopoulos says, well, then how did the bullet fly out of the gun that you were holding? And he goes, why are you giving me such boomer energy right now? Why you got to be a boomer, Georgie? You ought to go. You ought to gee Stephanopoulos. Why do you got to be such a boomer? Okay? Is there any way we could pull that up? Even if it takes a second, it's worth it. Because there's just a lot of things that don't add up about this story. And it's very intriguing. And then he has to deal with George Clooney. George Clooney's saying releasing a statement. George Clooney fired some shots at him. George Clooney said, hey, anytime I'm handed a gun on set, I always check first to make sure there's no live rounds in it. And George Stephanopoulos said, what do you have to say about George Clooney's statement that he always checks when he's handed a gun to make sure there's no live rounds in it? And Alec Baldwin said, why you gotta be such a boomer about this, dog? I would say Alec Baldwin's having a rough month. Not to make light, of course. I know there's a family in mourning, and I'm sorry about that, but I have to do my job. As the king pig Tim Dillon himself says, I got to do my job, and here we go.
Was loved by everyone who worked with and liked by everyone who worked with and admired.
Hold on. Am I supposed to believe that's a real cry, or I always respected you as an actor? You definitely were the most talented Baldwin. I'm saying it's real. Okay, let's just assume. But you know, these actors, they don't have personalities. That's why they become actors, because they don't even know who they are. That's why he married a woman who claimed to be from Spain and went around saying, Alec, ¿quieres cachapas para bocadilla? Oh, crazy. I'm going out later with the people. I'm from Spain. Hello. Let's go watch the running of the bulls. Oh, my God. I have to go to Barcelona. Have to watch it. Go there. The best architecture. I like to live in America. Everything's great in America. My name is Hilaria, not Hillary. Not Hillary Weinberger. What was her real name? It was like Hillary Steinberger. Hillary Greenbaum. Her parents are dentists from Boston. There's a lot of people that went to school with her. She was known to take Jewish holidays off, but when she grew up, she became, I like to live in America. Everything's good in America. I'm sorry, I got you all over the place. Her real name is Hillary Lynn Hayward Thomas, not Hilaria Rodriguez.
Born on January 6th.
Born on January 6th. So, of course, we know who's behind the Capitol riot. I'm telling you, this all comes together in some way where Alec Baldwin had to do what he had to do to protect who was really behind the Capitol riots on the 6th. I think it was a little girl named Hilaria. Okay, let's watch the rest of this video after Alec Baldwin cries.
I mean, even now, I find it hard to believe that. It just doesn't seem real to me.
You haven't said much in public since that tragic accident.
Can I just say this? Alec Baldwin looks like shit. Now, here's the two things that age you the most. Being president of the United States and accidentally killing a member of the crew. Roll it. You're going to age a little bit.
I think the big question, and the one you must have asked yourself 1,000 times, how could this have happened?
Here comes the good stuff. Just hang in there.
It was a 1 in a trillion shot, and the gun was in your hand. How do you come to terms with that? It wasn't in the script for the trigger to be pulled.
Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
So you never pulled the trigger?
No. I would never point a gun at him and pull a trigger at him. Never.
What did you think happened? How did a real bullet?
Hold on. What do you think happened? I thought she was sick. I thought she had a bad sandwich. Okay.
Put a live bullet in a gun, a bullet that wasn't even supposed to be on the property.
How do you respond to actors like George Clooney who say that every time they were handed a gun, they checked it themselves?
Stop being a boomer, dog.
So clearly, so right there on the surface, you felt shock, you felt anger, you felt sadness. Do you feel guilt? You said you're not a victim, but
What a stupid. I'm sorry. I hate to go in on a Greek hero, but I mean, you feel sadness, you feel shock. Do you feel guilt? What do you think he's going to say? No, not at all. I feel pretty good about it, actually. Feel pretty good. I mean, can we, and I give him credit because he asked a few of the harder questions earlier, but like talk about a lesbian softball game. I mean, if that is not a 30-mile-per-hour inferior arm throwing you a ball, okay? Shout out to my lesbians. I love you, the Marines of gentrification, but let's be honest, I'll fucking hit a homer off you every time with those fucking slow, flabby arms. That is a softball if ever. Did you feel guilty? Of course I did, George. Of course I did. Okay, let's see the rest. Yeah, I did.
Because I
Killed her.
think back, and I think of what could I have done.
Well,
Alec Baldwin.
Alec, I don't know if there's anything different you could have done because you apparently didn't point the gun and you didn't fire it. So, obviously we're dealing with some sort of supernatural phenomenon that happened because, or you had a gun that doesn't require pointing and firing. We got a magic bullet on our hands here, fellas. Mm-hmm. We got what they call a magic bullet. My theory is Alec Baldwin put his arm down. The bullet, I feel like the bullet fired itself, ricocheted off the ground, hit a cloud up above, came back down, hit into a mirror, came back, and hit the first AD, who tragically, we don't know her name. Because Alec Baldwin is the star of this tragedy, which is why the media sucks. Because I don't even know the guy's name who died with Paul Walker. All I know him as Paul Walker's +1. All I know is if I was doing the list at heaven, like it was a club, and he walked up, I'd say, Jesus, we got Paul Walker +1 on the list. I don't even know the guy who died in the car with Ryan Dunn. Because the media never emphasizes those people because there's no star power in their names. The real tragedy here is her, who she is. She died. Not if Alec Baldwin feels guilty. We know he feels guilty. But of course, we're not going to do an interview with this dramatic music with her family or the girl who was supposed to run those guns. We're going to throw Alec Baldwin on there because the kid does a fucking Trump impression. And he's an A-list star. What does the peanut gallery think? Alec Baldwin is a huge Wanted fan. Bullet curved at hit her point blank. What does that mean? Do you know?
Wanted, so the movie Wanted, where you can curve the bullet with James McAvoy. Yeah.
So the bullet curved.
Yeah.
Charlie Stevens says, who picked the 80s drama music for that interview? Point the fake gun at the jurors and let them decide. Alec is innocent like Epstein. Free Willy. Somebody there is just, an advocate for the innocent. Where was the shooter on the set? Noel. That's a funny one. That deserves credit.
Yeah.
He goes, where was the shooter on the set, Noel? Grassy Knoll. Some goodies. Has anyone checked to see if she really Hollywood plays games, don't they? Okay, that was a waste of a moment. That was what you call the waste of a moment. Alec didn't really kill her. It was actually Lee Harvey Oswald from the Book Depository from Schizio. Yeah. What I want to know is where's the grassy knoll here? I need some ballistic experts to know where the shots were fired from. We need a Zapruder film. We got to figure this out because apparently he didn't point the gun and he didn't fire the bullet. But the bullet did come from his gun that he was holding. So we have what we have. We have an old boomer misunderstanding here. We have what you call a boomer misunderstanding. This is the Bitcoin of murder stories. Hard to explain, hard to understand. Just know that somehow it works.